Hey y'all, welcome back to Summertime Tarot. This is part 3 of the videos that deal with ancestor worship and ancestor veneration, okay? Alright y'all, so this is 5 reasons you're not ready to work with your ancestors, okay? Now, this is by no means a video that's kind of trying to dissuade you, yeah, that's the word, dissuade you from working with your ancestors, right? I just kind of liked that title. It ain't like, hey, if you're here, I'm assuming you want to work with your ancestors and you're trying to get ready for it, okay? Now, basically, these are just 5 things that you need to be aware of before you hop into the waters, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and start. Number 1, right? Don't work with your ancestors if you're not ready to face your shadow. Boom. All right, if you watched the first video in this little installation, right, we talked about just a little bit about the fact that our ancestors, right, at one point they was human. They walked here on this earth, right? They led human lives. And so if you're a human, you're not perfect. You feel what I'm saying? You got your flaws. You done did some things that you might not have been proud of. And the fact of the matter is, working with your ancestors, right, they're basically going to want you to level up, okay? Because in leveling up, they level up, your whole lineage levels up, okay? So they want you to level up. And in order to level up, you have to face the aspects of yourself, the things that you done did that weren't that kind, that weren't that great, so that you can improve, okay? Now, right, people say this a lot in their videos. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I've been wanting to say that so bad, and I did. Okay, so yeah. So basically, when you work with your ancestors, they are going to show you parts of yourself, things that you done, things that are blocking you from leveling up. They're going to show it to you. They're going to put it in your face. And if you're not ready for that, don't work with your ancestors, because they're going to do it. It's probably the first thing they're going to do. They're going to be like, sit down. We need to have a talk. And it's going to be consistent, right? Because as you're growing, you're going to always have to level up. You're going to always have to face parts of yourself that ain't that great in order to move beyond them, right? When it comes to expansion, you gotta break that barrier that you done placed, right? You feel what I'm saying? So when you're expanding, right, you're going to hit a wall. That wall is there not because that's the end of, the line. No, it's not the end of the line. It's just there to show you, hey, this is how far you've come. You want to go further? You're going to have to move beyond this. You're going to have to move beyond this, okay? It's kind of like having a talk with your parent where they're like, listen, we need to talk, okay? We need to talk, because this thing right here, this little elephant, no, okay? Now, some things that you may even, come into contact with when working with your ancestors is you may be introduced to ancestors that may have struggled with similar things that you struggle with, right? It's kind of like, it's making me think of, oh, that's it. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just watched the Kid Cudi documentary on Prime. Listen, Cudder, you feel what I'm saying? If you love Kid Cudi, watch that. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. I cried through the whole thing. I love Kid Cudi, okay? That's my guy. Been my guy since I was a little kid. That's my guy, okay? But back to this, right? Listen. So I brought that up because in the documentary, right, he dealt with his issues with cocaine and stuff. And he brought up, like, he said, I have 2 uncles who struggled with crack addiction. Boom. That's what we're talking about here. You may find, or your ancestors may introduce you to people in your lineage who may struggle with the same things or similar things that you are struggling with at your current state or lane or space in your journey. Okay. And it's because they're going to introduce you to those people, right? It could be in a dream. It could be however. You could just find that family members talking about them all of a sudden. And it's because they're trying to show you, listen, right? We know you human. We know you have your issues. We had them too. You're not alone. We're here to help you, right? We don't want you to struggle with the same shit that we struggle with. We want you to move beyond that, okay? And if you try to run from it, listen, don't even try to run, bro. Listen, don't try to run from that shit. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, don't do it, because it's going to continue to show up in different ways, in different aspects, different areas of your life, right? You may find, right, say you don't want to face something. I don't know. Maybe you see that you may be struggling, I don't know, in the relationship area, right? For some reason. And that your ancestors are trying to show you something there, right? Because when it comes to like our lives, right, everything is interconnected. You feel what I'm saying? So they may try and show it to you in your relationships, right? And so maybe like, okay, I'm gonna just avoid that, right? I ain't got to be in a relationship. Bam. So you try and not look at it. No, it's gonna show up in other areas of your life. So don't try and run from it. Face that shit, right? What does my dude Rafiki say? Don't run from it. Learn from it, okay? Boom. All right, so number 2, don't work with your ancestors if you're not ready to see the shadow aspects of beloved family members or ancestors, right? This kind of flows from the last one. As I was saying, our ancestors were human, you know? If you're not ready to learn that, I don't know, maybe your granddaddy, your pappy or something was out here creeping, don't work with your ancestors, because just like they're going to show you your shadow aspects, the parts of you that, you know, ain't so great, they're going to show themselves as well. They're going to tell you about them. They're going to show you what they did wrong so that you don't do it wrong too. Okay? So when you work with your ancestors, get ready for that family tea to be spilled, okay? You may find some things out that you did not know. And you're going to be like, yo, what? What? No. And you may even be like, I didn't even want to know that. But it's true. And it may not even just be, you know, in the realm of your ancestors. You may find out things about living family members that you didn't know, because your ancestors, they like, look at this. Clean this up. Okay, but let's move on to number 3. Don't work with your ancestors if you're not ready to heal yourself and your family, right? Going back to the part of, you may learn about things within your family history currently going on within your family that need to be fixed or healed, right? Not fixed, but healed. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're not ready to face that, right, to face the issues, to face the traumas, to face all the drama that may be going on, to really look at it and see it for what it is so that you can work through it, to heal it within yourself, within living family members and descendants to come, don't work with your ancestors, because that's what they're going to want you to do. They want you to heal yourself, heal them, and to heal the whole family line. Okay, so what does that look like? You, right? Let me just give you an example from my life, right? When I started working with my ancestors, what came up for me were certain traumas that I hadn't really dealt with, right? From my past, from my childhood, that I had really kept secret, that I had really like kind of shoved down. And they was like, nah, bruh. Nope. No, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Okay, and I kept feeling like that. It's like you're gonna feel like this is not working. I can't do this anymore, right? I can't hold on to certain things anymore. I can't continue certain cycles anymore, right? They're going to show you, like I was saying at the beginning, they're going to show you certain things within yourself, within your lineage, right? Within the people around you that's stopping you and your family, right? From growing, from expanding. Okay? So for my folks that made, the whole big thing, generational curses, right? Sure. If we talk a lot about that, but if you're not about to do that work, don't work with your ancestors. And by that, I mean, right, you can talk about it. You can be like, oh yeah, right, I don't know, I grew up in a house of abuse or this, that, and the third. But what are you doing about it? Are you continuing the curse, or are you working to heal it? And by that, I mean, let's use an example. Maybe you did grow up with, I don't know, in a house of abuse. Maybe there was physical abuse or emotional abuse or mental abuse, right? From parent to child, right? Your ancestors are going to expect you. They're going to be like, if you're working with them, they're going to want you to look at your shit, right? It's not just your parents' shit. Excuse my language, but I like curse words. They don't want you to just look at your parents' shit. Yeah, sure. You're going to have to look at your childhood and what mama did and what daddy did and what they didn't do. Yes, because that affected you. Yes. But now they want you to look at you. How are you continuing to perpetuate the bullshit? Okay? Now, if you're not working to dismantle it, you're working to continue it. And they not with that. Let's be honest, they're not. Okay? Now, if they are, then you're not working with the right ancestors. Let's just be honest. Okay? So they're going to call you on your shit. Point blank, period. They're going to call you on your shit. They're going to force you, right? Not really force you, but you're going to have to take a fucking seat, to take a knee, my guy, and really look at what you're doing that's holding you back, that's holding your family back, that's holding your kids back, and really start working to dismantle it. Okay? Let me look at my notes. Okay? What does this look like? What does it look like? That means you're not going to be able to continue to be silent about certain things. Basically. Right? You're going to have to basically stand up for something or fall for anything, basically. Right? It's like if you see something that's going on that's wrong, you're going to have to do something about it. Basically, your ancestors are going to expect you to. Or they're going to continue to bug you about it, basically. Now, I'm gonna keep going because I feel like there's still something I need to say here. So, like, this, I feel like for me, really personally, this is probably like the hardest part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means you really have to stand up. You have to be a stand-up person in all areas of your life, especially when it comes to your family, right? You have to kind of like check your people. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, that's wrong. You have to be able to say that, right? And not be afraid to say that thing. Because when you start working with your ancestors, you basically become their mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird to say it that way, but you really do. You become the vessel through which they work. You basically, like, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about religion, we talk about spirituality. You're basically a vessel. And so what are you holding? You know? What are you allowing to flow through you? If you want to be in alignment with, you know, God, the Most High, these higher vibrations, this good shit, you feel what I'm saying? You're going to have to stand up, right? You're going to have, like, people talk about Jesus. What would Jesus do? You have to do what Jesus would do. If you see something wrong going on, you have to be like, listen, this is wrong. We can't do this anymore. right? You have to like call people on their BS. You have to be like, bro, that's abuse. And you can't like be afraid to speak, right? You gotta work that throat chakra. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta kind of speak up, speak out, share what it is that you learn. It's kind of like the only way you're going to be able to expand, right? If you kind of want to hoard things or keep things down, that's the opposite of expanding, right? That's compressing. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to expand, you have to share the knowledge, share the wealth, right? Open up, speak your truth, voice your concerns, that kind of thing, right? So you may find yourself like, you may find that you need a purpose, like you need something to work on. Maybe you want to do charity or something. You want to, you know, stand out there with the, what's it? Dang, this looks weird. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The signs, yeah. And like, you know, boycott shit, do that shit. You know what I'm saying? That may be your lane, or maybe you're a writer, maybe you're a creator. So you may find that you feel called to speak about certain things, to write about certain things, to, you know, create certain things that express or explore these different experiences and beliefs and, right, issues that maybe you've been dealing with, that your family members dealt with, right? You could find that maybe, right, maybe you want to speak more about your ancestors, about your culture, about your lineage, about your history. You feel what I'm saying? You may find that, hey, bro, right, I can't dress the way I used to dress no more. I gotta wear my dashiki. You feel what I'm saying? Like maybe you feel like that. Maybe you feel like, oh, I can't live in America no more. I need to go back to the motherland. I don't know your life, but you may find that you're called to do certain things that at one point made you uncomfortable. That's a good sign. Okay? Now, number 4, don't work with your ancestors if you're not ready. Look at that. Perfect. You're not ready to learn about your ancestral traditions outside of Christianity. I say this a lot in my videos. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggity, black, y'all. Hey, I mean, I got some more stuff in me, but I'm black. You know what I'm saying? And for my black folk out there, let's be honest. Most of our ancestors didn't start off as Christians. Okay? That's the truth, Ruth. Okay? So that means if you're not ready to kind of put the Bible to the side and explore other traditions, the traditions of your ancestors that weren't just Christianity, right, that weren't pushed on them by other folk, don't start working with your ancestors. Because, right, you got to think about it. When you start working with your ancestors, you kind of open yourself up to everybody that came before you. Not just the people that lived in the last 400 years. We talking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that means if you're not ready to explore, you know, Yoruba traditions or hoodoo or voodoo or Buddhism, Taoism, all that stuff, Hinduism, right? You're not ready to do that? Don't start working with your ancestors, right? Because let's be honest, you're kind of limiting them when you focus on one religious path. Because that wasn't just the only thing that they did. And if you want to really like start connecting with them and understanding them, understanding where they come from, their beliefs, the way they think, the way they saw the world, you feel what I'm saying? You're going to have to be open to learning about different traditions, different cultures, right? Let's be honest, right? I'm black. Now, all of my ancestors started here, okay? That means I need to be learning about African traditions. That means, you know, I need to be learning about Native American traditions. That means, you know, I probably got a little bit of white in me. So I need to be learning about that, right? I need to be open to exploring all of myself, not just the picture perfect Christian Bible. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're going to want you to do that. They're going to want you to really know them. Know them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's not kind of like, it really is. Like, it's a relationship here. right? If I don't know, say, you're American and you grew up in a Christian household, but you start dating a dude from Africa that's that believes in Allah, right? He gonna expect that you kind of at least be open to learning about him and where he comes from or she comes from, their history, right? Their culture, right? It's normal. It's like expected. Like, come on, y'all. Okay? Come on, son. Come on, son. Okay? And you just got to be honest, right? You got to be honest. You probably, right, if you like me, skin folk, you feel what I'm saying? If you like me, you probably had ancestors that was out here working some roots, okay? They was in that voodoo, okay? Hoodoo, all that. And if you really want to be open to, magic and all that stuff, they can teach you some things. But if you're not willing and open to their beliefs, to their practices, you're really just limiting yourself and the connection that you have with them. That's just my 2 cents. Okay? But moving on. Number 5, don't start working with your ancestors if you're not ready to let go of some relationships. Ooh, this the big one, y'all. This the big one. Listen. You know how everybody like on the internet be like, my ancestors don't play about me. My ancestors don't play about me. Yeah, they probably don't. I'm sure. And the truth of that is, that means they're going to be like, listen, that dude right there, cut him off. And you should listen. You should listen, bro. You should listen, right? Listen to your ancestors. They know, okay? You're going to have to start cutting off relationships. It's just, and like when you really start getting deeper into your connection with the ancestors, you start working with them more, you probably ain't gonna really have to like do the cutting. It's just gonna happen. Like, people just gonna start disappearing. Let's just be honest. Like, you may stop hearing from people, like, quote unquote ghosting, but it's not really like a ghosting. Y'all just separate, and it's for a reason. Trust that it's for a reason. Like, your ancestors was like, yeah, you don't need them no more. And one day you're gonna be like, oh dang, I haven't heard from such and such. Yeah, that was your ancestors. You feel me? Or, if you believe it was God, yeah, all that and the above. Okay, because, right, talking about expansion, when you start expanding, when you start growing, when you start really traveling along your path, certain relationships just are no longer necessary. And it doesn't mean like they bad people or, right, oh, they narcissist, and hey, it could be, but fact of the matter is they're just not for you anymore. And it happens. Now, sometimes it could be hard, right? It could be hard to let go of certain people that you really care for. Like, that's my dog, or that's bae, whatever, but it's what's best for you. I only want what's best for you. Hey, it's not what's good for me. Okay, so it's like your ancestors are going to really start showing you, for real, let's be honest here, your ancestors are gonna, just like I said earlier, they're gonna start showing you parts of you, parts of themselves, but they're also going to start showing you the truth of the people that you surround yourself with. Especially if you really focus and you're like, bro, let's get it. They're gonna be like, all right, boom, you need to cut this nigga off. You're gonna be like, what? Send me a sign. They sent you a sign. But are you listening? Are you really listening though? For real. They're gonna start showing you the true faces, as they say, of these people. And when you see it, believe it. And start moving differently, okay? Because it's just gonna help you out at the end of the day, okay? But if you're not ready to do that, don't work with your ancestors, okay? Because They not gonna stop showing you. They gonna show you, and then they gonna show you, and then they gonna show you, and then they gonna be like, all right, now you deal with the consequences if you don't want to listen to what I'm telling you. And then you're gonna have to live with the consequences. So listen on the first time. Listen the first time. Okay? Listen the first time. Listen the first time. Right? Because these people are only holding you back. As I said, your ancestors just want you to expand. They want you to grow. They want you to improve. And to do that, sometimes you got to let people go. It could be friends. It could be lovers. It could even be family. Right? And it doesn't mean that y'all paths won't cross again in the future. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. But you're going to have to let them go so that you can grow. Ooh. Bars. Okay? But yeah. That's the video. Hopefully it helped you in some way, right? If you're interested in booking a personal reading, the link to Summertime Tarot is in the description box below. Also selling some decks, okay, on the website. The link is in the description box, okay? What else? Yeah, we got some giveaways going on. It's in the description box. Everything you need to know is in the description box below, right? I truly appreciate you. You the best. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.